Super Senpai Podcast.
Welcome to the Super Senpai Podcast. This is a bi-weekly, episodic, tokusatsu-related podcast where we're talking about fights and tights. I'm Pat.
And I'm Grant.
And we're back.
Yeah, we're back, and it's just us this time. We're not doing anything wild, no extra people, just the hermanos back together again for one last big score.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry, I got a little Ocean's 11 there.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, but how you been, man?
Oh, man, I've been good. Actually, really just catching up at the last minute. Because it's like I took a month off. Really, it really feels like we did the Jetman special, which was just easy because it was there. And then I just let Lupot just kind of build up for the last month. And I was like,
Yeah, right, yeah.
I should still have been watching it every week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do the same thing in the future. Like, not just let it build. It's probably important to go ahead and watch it every week.
Yeah. Just got to keep on it.
Yeah, but no, it's good to be back, and it'll be fun to watch it again. We've had a little bit of a break, but I've ended up missing it. Watching it again made me realize how much I am enjoying it. I think some of the enthusiasm maybe has dropped off in the Toku Twitter bubble, but I missed it. It was good to be back to it again. So
yeah, the feeling I got that while I was watching it is I wish I was watching this with somebody because it was sort of heating up the way we've been wanting for it to heat up in the first 13 episodes. I was like, oh man, I wish Grant was here.
Yeah, we got a lot of wishes granted while we were away from each other.
Really? Yeah. What happened? How did that work? That means this next batch is going to be amazing. Like, I don't even know.
But yeah, so do we want to do some news and stuff real quick before we hop into the episode proper?
Yeah. News, and then also we'll do our quick, like, what did we see, right?
Yeah. So real fast, this is just a sort of a minor thing, and who knows if it's really the end of an era or if it's something to be done for the accountants in the back, but Saban Brands, the owner of Power Rangers, not only, we talked about last time that they had sold the Power Rangers property to Hasbro, but now they have basically been closed down. The company has been shuttered, so to speak. At least the IP has.
Really?
Yeah, Saban Brands no longer exists. Now the management company, I guess, which is like Saban, is it entertainment? Maybe there's like another level of it that still continues to exist. And it's Saban Capital Group, that's what it is. So that will continue, and it has a number of other investments and stuff like that. But Saban Brands, as we know it, does not exist anymore. So.
Huh. I did not catch that. Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of easy to miss, I guess, because we already had the brand being sold, So like to some degree, it's happened, it's done. It's just an interesting thing to note in passing, and I'm of two minds about it because it's not the first time Saban has sold the property, and it's not they've bought it back in the past. So Disney had it for a while, and now they don't. So I guess there's no way to lock down exactly like, okay, well, how permanent is it this time, really? It is interesting to note.
Yeah, and I guess we'll really see what Hasbro ends up doing with it. Didn't they just announce something like they've committed to bringing back the movies or doing something with the movie franchise or a new movie franchise?
Did Hasbro commit that? See, I don't know. I don't know if they committed that or not. I just saw the thing about the brands being shuttered.
Okay.
So, but they may. I mean, they may in fact be doing other movies. And, knowing Hasbro, I mean, say what you will, but they have certainly made a fair chunk of change off of the Transformers movies. And those are certainly something that people continue to buy tickets for.
Right. Yeah.
You can't, at the end of the day, they do that for better or for worse, I think, in some instances. Yeah, so it's interesting that Saban doesn't exist now. And, again, maybe they'll come back in the future. Who knows? But for now, they don't exist. And it's just an interesting dynamic. It's an interesting time, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to see, let's see. It goes Shocker and then Gel Shocker. And
Yeah.
we're gonna get Neo Gel Saban. Or Die. What is it? Neo Die Gel Saban in another 15 years, something like that,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
For the
That makes sense.
Anniversary.
Golgam Saban or something. Yeah, we'll get that
Oh,
soon,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Mhm. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I just thought that was an interesting note. And I'm sure we'll see big changes from Hasbro. And who knows, it could go the way like Disney. A few years later, Saban may come back and buy it on the cheap and run off. But, it certainly feels like, I guess from my perspective, after 25 years of Power Rangers existing and trying it with the movie last year and it not panning out how they wanted, it does kind of, just kind of taking the temperature of the room, it certainly feels like that was the last hurrah and Saban's out of it. That's the feel I get. That's all, but it's all business. Who knows? So,
Right.
So what all have you been watching, man? What you been keeping up with? It's been a couple weeks since we've been on together.
Honestly, I've been sort of just working on things more than watching things, aside from just whatever is on Crunchyroll or whatever anime we're trying to keep up with. And there's still stuff I need to follow, but priorities build, but even that I've fallen off of a little bit. Not like quality wise, it's just bad habits. But I would say we've been prioritizing Hero Academia and Hinamatsuri probably more. But that's less on the Toku side, unfortunately.
Oh yes. Well, I've been doing a little bit. I'm about 2 weeks behind on Build after I finally caught up. So I need to watch those soon. Had to catch up on Lupat, obviously. And I have watched. I haven't started. I'm going to do a reaction thread on it. I asked Twitter what Toku I should watch next. I got a lot of suggestions, but I am actually watching Amazon's. Amazon Riders, because I wanted to support mainly the big thing that kept tipping it was I want to support the legal stream. We need to, if we're going to ask for legal streams and we want more of this stuff, we need to show up when it's there. So
you're right.
putting my money where my mouth is, and that's what I'm going to watch and prioritize that. It's very different. I guess I didn't know going in, but these are like 45-minute episodes as opposed to 22 minutes. And so there's 26 episodes at about 45 minutes or so, which means it's roughly about a 52-ish episode season, which is, well within normal ranges for the standard kind of Toku fare. But just being formatted under that expectation really alters the dynamic of the show. Like it's just not a standard Toku show. It's not what you expect just because of that,
Yeah, that was the thing that sort of stopped me from... I've seen maybe 3 episodes of it, but it's really because, like, I would commit to try watching, like, the whole thing in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, with everything being on demand or being able to stream it from anywhere, I think it's okay to take breaks, and maybe I ought to do that, and that's how I'll get through it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's... it's one of those things that's so weird because, like, kind of everything's available all the time, and especially when you're like us, when you're I don't want to call us like mega fans, but we are fans of any Toku. You just say, hey, we're talking Toku, and we're like, we're already involved. So you want to watch everything, and you feel like, oh, but if I don't watch X, Y, or Z, I'm behind, or you get in those kind of weird mind games, weird spaces. But I think it's okay to have not, it's okay to kind of take different paths and that sort of thing, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying Amazon's. I'm going to kind of save most of my more detailed thoughts for les Twitter threads or later discussions because only one episode is just not enough to go on. But it's very different. It feels, I guess, lowercase m mature, if that makes sense. It's definitely exercising the fact that it's not being aired on or at least to me, I don't know. I actually don't know if it was distributed on television. I think it was just on Prime in Japan as well. It definitely does not feel like a show that was aired on television for children. Nope. And it definitely is taking advantage of the 45 minutes that it has to tell a story as opposed to the 22 minutes that it's normally trying to tell it in. So I like that about it. I like that a lot about it. I don't know. Again, as somebody whose favorite is Fourze, it's the other end of the spectrum from Fourze right now. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, this is like I don't know if this comparison makes sense, but this is like PG-13 in the 80s. Like that's the vibe.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it. And there's some real 80s vibes to a lot of stuff that's going on just in general. Like there's a real heavy 80s feel to some of the, clearly what are some of the influences for the show. Like very much so.
Right. But also, oh my goodness, that rider suit design, you should already have seen one, right?
Yes, I have seen one
rider
rider.
design.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a good
Oh,
suit. It's a good Bugman. Good karate Bugman.
yes. You want to talk some of the episodes we just saw?
Yeah, sure. So we have seen, before we watched 17, last time we had talked about episode 12.
Right.
So we need to talk about 13, 14, 15, and 16 going in. So how did you feel? Or do you want to do a recap for, let's just kind of do it real quick. What was 13?
13 was the yellow and pink team up at the theme park.
Friendship episode, yeah.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite episodes so far, just because it was
Mm.
just girls kicking butt.
Yeah.
That was great.
Something that we've been wanting, and I know Ian, who was on one of our episodes earlier, around like 6 or 7, added me specifically and was like, hey, now that you've been there, you see, like, this is the thing that I was asking for, and here we are. I thought that was pretty funny.
Mhm.
Good to hear from her again on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I agree. It was definitely one of the best episodes. It was after being away from it for so long, it was really refreshing to come back and have a good episode like that. It was kind of the girls getting to team up, and there was a little bit of friction, and there was some kind of fun horror elements to it that I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
expecting because of the haunted house theme and all that. So I really dug that a lot.
Yeah. And then, we get that little bit of a betrayal. How could you? Nah, just
Yeah.
kidding. We were tricking you. Like, oh, I love it. Like, that's my favorite. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that classic, just kind of very
Big
classic kind of toku melodramatic type stuff, like surprise, it was a trick all along. That was really good, really really good.
Which I'll follow up on when we get to the 16's description, I think. But,
Yeah.
and then 14 and 15 were, I guess, they were a two-parter. So it was neat. It was neat because it felt like the last 4 we got, the first 3 of the last 4, we got a lot of Pot Ranger focus, which we've been sort of begging for.
Right, yeah, we
And
have.
so 14 and 15 were a two-parter that focused on a Gangler revenge story, which is weird but interesting. And then it was primarily on the Pat Rangers.
Yeah.
Where by the end of 14, Red gets poisoned because he got tricked and sort of went for the weapon that was hidden underground.
Mhm.
And then in 15, they're all injured and Red is just dying from poison the whole time. So just you're just like, survive, you'll survive, I know you will. But
Yeah,
at the same
right.
time, it's like, oh my goodness.
Guys.
Yeah, like, oh man. And then,
Yeah,
and a little bit of Pat Renichigo's backstory,
Yeah.
why he respects cops and why he
Mhm.
wants kids to respect cops. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
It was good. That was a fun
and
character.
we also got the introduction of the crane and the drill, the new cars for them, or the new vehicle modes for them, which was interesting. I did not expect the construction theme to show up, but we've got it there with the police, which makes sense with kind of the emergency vehicle element, I guess.
Yeah, emergency ground vehicles, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so that was good. I really enjoyed, I guess, the intensity of the performance in terms of it's Keiichiro, the Peto Red. I really enjoyed just kind of his intensity when he was poisoned. Like, he's just, when he's ready to scream and kind of lay it all out there, he does a really good job. So I was really impressed with his actor those episodes.
Both, an aside, I feel like both Build and Lupat have been successful in poisoning characters and having them look really sick. Like,
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed with that. Like,
Yeah.
you definitely are like,
wow.
he does not look good. Something is wrong with him.
Yeah, he's acting right. He's okay. My sweet Red, is he okay? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was good. And then 15. Oh, and I liked in 14. I liked the Crush Brothers. The sort of, I guess they're like rams or goats. They're sort of woolly goat ram type guys. I particularly enjoyed that the motivation there was for revenge for the brother that got killed, because during one of the prior fights, we sort of get a retcon that these two, the goats, were nearby near that fight, and the Lupin Kaiser stumbled and crushed one of the brothers to death underfoot. I just thought that was a really funny monster motivation and a fun way to sort of go back and add some importance to a prior fight that wasn't there. I definitely approve of that.
Like, it's sort of a horrible way to go out, because they were just training or hanging out in the woods. Like, they're not, they've been characterized as evil, and their motivations and sort of clandestine approach to poisoning Pat Renichigo is clearly not good, but also just to be crushed, to be crushed like that, it's like, oh geez, man, I feel a little bad. Like,
it's definitely a rough way to go.
Doesn't do anything
no doubt.
yet. Yeah, gee.
Yeah, but I liked it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that set of episodes. In 15, it felt like we had a lot more reflections with Pat Green and with Sakuya and Tsukasa, Pat Green and Pat Pink, before they left, kind of leaving the building and all that, like them kind of suiting up and reflecting kind of on service and just kind of what their role as police officers and stuff. I really liked that. I thought it was all really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints there at all. I feel like we're finally getting. We don't quite have the monster motivation yet that I've been asking for, but we definitely have gotten more of the Pat Rangers, and like you said, that's something we've been begging for a while. So
yeah, and then we got 16, which is a sort of a Blue focus episode while also removing Blue from the picture. And this was just honestly, this was a blast to watch because I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're going back to the Lupin Rangers presenting a body swap episode in the way that they did. At first, I was like, oh man, they're doing a body swap, but when they went into it with the accidental mirror reflection body swap, Blue gets his body stolen from the Gangler, and then they have to sort of hide and protect the monster Blue while Blue's body, stolen human body, is running around hitting on women, and it's just that was oh my goodness, like that was really fun. That was a really fun one.
Gotta agree with that. And I think the thing about those kind of episodes that I really like is that I don't necessarily, I mean, thematically it is what it is, like, body swapping. It's a kind of a, I guess you could call it corny or whatever, but I don't really enjoy it so much for the thematic elements. I mean, I don't really think it's that effective, but I think the thing that I enjoy so much about it for live action is the fact that you get a chance to let your actor or actress really flex their creative kind of talents in that way. And I feel like it always, I mean, the only way that the body swapping or mind swapping, the only way that, for me at least, the only way that fails is when the person acts exactly the same. And that's very rarely the case. They either get to play someone who is like a diametrically different style of character, right? They get to play somebody who's like, either they're usually straight-laced and they really act out, or they're someone who's more boisterous and they have to kind of withdraw back in, so you get to see their range, or they try to deliver a more subtle performance where they're trying to be more sneaky and be someone else hiding kind of in plain sight, so to speak.
Right.
And I think both of those are really, even when they're bad, they're kind of fun to watch. The only problem would be if they just weren't any different, and that very seldom happens. So I really, really like that, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got to see that here. And I think Toma's actor just was having a ball. He was just loving every second of that. So that was great.
Yeah, especially when he realizes that he's in an attractive dude's body and that girls are into him, and he's like, I've never been popular before. And he doesn't even want to go back at that point. He's just enjoying just being ridiculous and partying and hanging out. But this gave us, and I want to say, when I usually see a red versus blue fight, it's always like, no, how could this be? And they delivered that in a way that you're like, oh man, he has to do it because otherwise, his body's gonna be used or wasted, or even his reputation will be ruined by this monster. And I thought that fight was sick. That was really cool fight.
Yeah.
It was just close. It was dirty. They were, oh, dang it. I don't even know how you describe it. You just, I
guess we'd call it gun fu, kind of gun kata type stuff. Maybe kind of John Woo, kind of Equilibrium a little bit. Getting in there and just that back and forth. A lot of good kind of acrobatics too, with them flipping over each other and things like that. Just really, really satisfying.
Yeah. And then of course that moment at the end, because of course, while the monster was out gallivanting, the Pat Rangers saw him. And they were like, man, he told everybody he was sick so he could go do this. That's not what a shameless guy. And then they try to lecture him at the end about it, and he was like, no, that wasn't me, but I can't tell you that. I was just laughing, man. It was so good. So he can't say nothing.
There was a really great series of episodes. Oh, and we didn't really mention him, but I guess I kind of wanted to rewind a little bit. The poison villain, the poison monster, I really liked him. I thought he was fun with the spines and everything. But he had a good shtick. So,
yeah, just a dangerous dude. Also, everybody, we have all these kind of crazy weapons and powers, and this dude was just walking around with a gun. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he just has a shotgun.
Yeah, all right, that one's probably really dangerous.
yeah,
Oh man. Yeah, what at most I think it even had like a little like plastic scope on it to make it look like a weapon, like a
right.
monster weapon, but really it was a gun. Like he had a gun.
Yeah,
like,
let's not
it's
kid ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Just has a straight up rifle.
Yeah, so I mean, I hope this set a precedent and we're going to get some good stuff this week for number 17.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited, really looking forward to it, and I hope that we get to see maybe not necessarily something we haven't seen before, but it feels like we've been on a really good roll here lately. So I'm ready to see more of that. I want to see them keep knocking it out of the park and really delivering, because it feels good. We're in a good place right now, I think. All right, ready to watch that episode?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something else for some reason.
No, sorry. Then I will pull up the episode and we can get to watching.
この番組は楽しい時を作るグループ PRT とザ・コミックフィンドとご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
And we are back. It was, oh man, I'm glad we're back. This was fun.
Yeah, it
there's
was.
There's nothing like watching it with somebody else.
Yeah, totally. It made a huge difference just being able to watch it along with somebody as opposed to watching it by myself. Yeah, totally.
So a quick recap on what we saw just now. I guess a little bit of an introduction, like what if one of the Rangers was kind of had like a romance thing that they had to wrestle with.
Mm-hmm.
A gal was interested in Keiichiro, but like he's one either he was too much of a blockhead, but it turned out he was he can't be a cop and also pursue a relationship seriously, and I feel like he wanted to respect her that way.
Mm-hmm.
Lupin Yellow did her best to try and support her friend, at least in getting them to talk about their feelings, but ultimately I think that's what Keiichiro stuck with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then there was a bit of a Dreamworld shenanigans where Keiichiro sort of picking up, finally, that the Juror trio, or the three that work at the cafe, are actually the Lupin Rangers.
Right.
And then right at the end, we got a little bit, like a hint of the ice freezing cool guy Gangler.
Frieza's back.
Cowboy Absolute Zero, right?
Cowboy Absolute Zero is the technical name, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good and interesting, definitely. That was that final shot was definitely like a because Absolute Zero messed with our grenade boy Destra himself. So it was interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, some sort of something ominous for the next episode, I guess.
Yep, definitely.
But overall, I mean, good vibes from the episode. I really like how outside of the uniforms we're getting a lot more interaction with the Lupin Rangers and Pat Rangers. Like, it seems like they're cool. Like, they're familiar with each other. They're picking up on their quirks. Not nonsense, but just sort of eccentricities.
Yeah.
Lupin Red didn't really do anything, but in the background he's like, this relationship's not going to work out. Like, it felt very sitcom, like in a way that I was enjoying.
Yeah, it was good, and I think I have to agree with you. I think that the really nice thing for this episode was the outside the suit interactions, because even though, what was it, the episode with the body switching with Tuma sort of reignited the inside the suit rivalries a bit. We saw them fight more, and we saw more misunderstandings, like with like, oh, you're helping a gangler, like that kind of thing. There was this time around, or we're seeing inside the suit, or outside the suits rather, when they're just in their normal people clothing and such, we're seeing them become more buddy-buddy, like you're saying, and it's an interesting dynamic. They're sort of upping the tension in the suits and decreasing it outside the suits. That's an interesting dynamic.
And something that was sort of strange about the episode is that this time our gangler, it looked like it might have been a kipash of the cat greed from O's as well. And then I don't know if this was on purpose or not. It might have been, but one of the cat greed's first victims in O's, Kamen Rider O's, was this dude wearing, what do you call that? Like, is it a jumper? Is it overalls?
Yeah, I guess overalls is the best way to put that. Yeah, we'll go with overalls.
Yeah. So it's like just a chubby dude in overalls that just was just enjoying himself.
Mm-hmm.
And down to him just saying tasty, tasty, or like, my.
Right.
eating bowls of what I assume is ramen or something. So I just visually that was like I was like okay I guess, and then he sort of had a fettuccine arm, extension arm attack that he was using on top of his dream, putting people to sleep, capture them in a dream world ability.
Right.
Which I gotta say was kind of just like okay I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, a dream attack thing is. I think the one interesting visual thing they did with it was when he first threw out all those rings, the pink rings, and there was a shot where it was heading towards, I think it was Lupin Yellow, like towards her face, so like you could see her face, like her mask rather, through like the flipping ring. I thought that was a really cool shot, but otherwise, they're getting knocked out of the fight basically immediately, and we don't see them for a while, so that's kind of, it is what it is. It's not that interesting.
But the transition shot was really good, right?
Yeah.
Like when they're all get hit, and then you see the sort of a fade of the dream world over the regular world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
nice. That made us go ooh.
Yeah, and definitely set up the best moment, which was of course him firing the gun and shattering the sky. That was a pretty wonderful little moment.
Excellent. Yeah. What is it like? That's right. This is a dream. Take that, dream! Like, die, dream.
It was really good.
I was like, oh, okay. Are they gonna then get everybody together and then wake them up that way? Nah, just pull your dream gun out and shoot at the dream. That would have done it. Like,
that's how. I mean, it's just a good life lesson. Shoot at your dreams, kids. Shoot at your dreams.
Oh God. Yeah, that's true. Very positive.
Yep, real upbeat, real good message there for everybody at home. But
I didn't like Sakuya's photo book of Umika because she's like, dude, I didn't make this, and you're just like, oh, you sign it, like, all right, dude, all right, you gotta crush on Umika. That's cool, I guess. Like,
yeah, I thought the funny thing was Sakuya being, because he is so oblivious in so many things, and yet he was like telling Keiichiro, like, man, you need to get it together and realize what's really going on.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought that was interesting that he very much did not. He had no clue what was going on.
that and what did he say? He said like second chances like this don't come around. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like you're speaking for yourself here. Like,
yeah. We're projecting a bit, aren't we?
Yeah, oh my God. But I think Keiichiro being conscious of it, like, one, he was aware of what it is. He was just trying to be obtuse so that he could, I guess, spare her feelings. I thought that was neat. Like, we just, everybody just assumed like, oh no, he's just a blockhead, or oh, he's just too dense for it. But the fact that I guess he was trying to be a little bit considerate here, obviously communicating and actually saying it would have been better, but saying that, or at least my reading was that he didn't want to not disrespect her or like put her in danger, all of those like superhero-y things. But like,
yeah,
I can't be in love. I'm a cop. Like, just
yeah, that was definitely the read. Like, there's no way. Like, that was the feel. Like, I have to keep her protected and all that kind of stuff. Your classic cop stuff.
Yeah. Which we then got to see realized in his like old man bike cop version of himself in the dream, right?
Right.
Protecting the peace.
Yep. No, it was good. It was, and it was him sort of playing it up like he didn't really know what was going on. Then we find out, he actually does know what's going on. He's just terrified. So it was good. I thought it was. I thought it was a pleasant deviation, I guess I would say. Like it was definitely because you playing off of say like Sakuya's just obliviousness, like duh, what's going on, as opposed to like it's a different feel. So
any other highlights before we?
No, not off the top of my head. I think we're ready to hit those Twitter questions. So let me pull those up real fast, like. Got a couple of them.
Oh, we did?
So, yeah, we got a couple. So our first one comes to us from regular buddy, Behalite Bebop. They ask, not Sentai related, but favorite suits in Build so far.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's a toughie.
Suits, you're allowed to say multiple. Pick two.
Okay, pick two. All of them and the rest of them. Those are my 2 picks. No, it's really hard to choose. It's a close run thing right now for me.
Mhm.
You know, I can't decide if I like Kamen Rider Rogue or
Ooh.
because the purple and the
Mhm.
jagged lines and the white veins, like it's a really good look, and I love all of the attacks and everything, and
The death spin rider kick.
yeah,
Ugh.
and that scream, that scream when he comes out, like, oh
Yeah.
man, get out of
Yeah.
here, that's too good.
Mhm.
That and Banjo's lava form, Cross Magma Z, Cross Z Magma.
Ooh, yeah.
Just all the lava effects. Like, I mean, I know we're dealing with television CG animation, and so sometimes it's something about it, like, it works. I don't know if it's they're investing more in it or more time or better artists, or just maybe the color palette just works better because of that. Maybe they're just adding extra lighting to it, but it really pops when it's on screen, for me at least. For me.
Mhm.
So
And then they make it look hot. Like they've set the suit on fire a few times, I'm sure. Like actually
Yes.
set it on fire. Oh man, but this is hard. Like this, yeah. I generally have been enjoying what I've seen. But I also do like sort of a clean. My 2 picks here are gonna be Hazard. Like the first time we
Mm.
see Build Hazard,
yeah,
because it's just like the all black with just the red and blue over the eyes is like.
Mhm.
It's so cool. Like it's just like they just dip the
Yeah.
thing in black. Like what what did you do? And
Yeah.
and just it's spooky at the same time because of the way he shoot, what do you call it? Like when he loses it while he's using it. It's just
Yeah.
it's nice. But the other one I would pick here is Grease. Like I think the translucent face is it translucent.
Yeah. That kind of It's not opaque. It's
Yeah. So just being able to see sort of that outer shell and the eyes behind that, like that mask must be like really annoying to look through. Is my guess. Just like it feels like it'd warp your vision at least a little bit. But 2, like I really like how it looks. Like it's just.
Mhm.
Ugh. I went out of my way to get a little figure of it just because I'm looking at it right now. It's beautiful, beautiful,
beautiful figure. It's beautiful, magnificent. Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of the suits in Build are good. There's no argument there. It's just it almost feels like, I mean, I know I'm not caught up, and I actually like a lot of the look for X-Aid. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, but like looking at all these designs, I'm like, were they holding out? Like, it's a lot of good designs in one show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
phew, good. Okay, so this one comes just from David Skasny, and he asked, you might actually talk about this during discussion, so feel free to skip this, but a few episodes ago, I believe one of you mentioned that while you liked the Pat Rangers, you felt like their motivation of protecting the public felt less compelling than the Lupons, trying to revive their loved ones, that you wish the Pats had more skin in the game. At the time, I agreed, but this most recent batch has really won me over by doubling down on what protecting the public means to them, and by highlighting how the Pats' extreme penchant towards selflessness both confounds and impresses the more selfish Lupons. Were you guys similarly won over, or do you still wish the Pat Rangers had more personal stakes in the fight?
Basically, yes.
Yeah. yeah. We touched on that a little bit, but yeah, the long and short of it, very much yes.
Yeah, like I love it, and we've been begging for it. We're like, please, more Power Ranger. I like them. I want to know more about them. And we got exactly that. We got to see, and then we got to see even this last one. We got to see a little bit more of like Keiichiro's like hard stance on like, I'm serious about this. Like I have to protect people, and I can't do that while also being distracted. Like
yeah,
to
exactly.
Mana's not disdain. Like she got it. I think. Like she wished him luck.
Right.
On her way out. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I hope I'm looking forward to more. I don't know where we're going from here based on this regarding this, but
yeah, I think specifically, and I know this is maybe I don't know if this is a weird one to comment on or not. The fact that, like, say Keiichiro, for example, he clearly wants to be the hero, but it doesn't bother him when he's not. Because Sakuya gets kind of all the cred, right? Like the little, like in that one episode, the little kid, he started out liking the Lupon Rangers, then he ended up at the end switching to the Pat Ranger, and Keiichiro thought it was going to be for him, but then turns out like, oh no, he's actually a big fan of not Keiichiro but of Sakuya, and like he runs and gives him the big hug and all that, and it's like it could be a moment where Keiichiro could be like, no, and get kind of bitter about it, but like it actually ends up just kind of working out really well, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that he is just that selfless, and even when he thinks he's finally about to get what he feels like he deserves, he still isn't really bothered when he doesn't get it, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that was a really good moment. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I actually did totally miss bringing that up, but
yeah.
But you do get that like little bit of comedy when it happens too, because you think he's gonna be like, "Oh shucks," but he's like, "You know what? I'm okay with this."
Yeah.
Fine.
And I think the other thing too, and we saw it a little bit with the friendship episode, Umika and Tsukasa, like their drive being they were going for the stuffed animals or whatever. We see Tsukasa and Sakuya and Keiichiro constantly, like, they are their jobs. And I think the show has had enough time to sort of establish, like, I don't feel like we're asking anymore, who are they outside of their policing profession? Because they are all sort of workaholics to one degree or another. And that they have very, like, you know, Tsukasa's, like, love of these stuffed animals is, like, the one thing she does outside of it. But, like, their personalities are being police. Like, that is what they do. That is what they want to do. And that is all they're, you know, not all they're totally concerned with, but that's the majority of what they're after. They're like, they want to be cops. And they are doing that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Right, yeah.
So that was it. Those were the two questions that we had. Did you have anything else to add on that one, Pat?
No, I don't think so. I feel like we got what we wanted. We wanted more of it, and I still want more. But
yeah,
it's just funny that happened while we were off. Like I was like, okay,
of course,
like,
yeah. That's funny.
So we'll get more of that, I'm sure, in the next month or so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Is there anything else that we wanted to do? Do we want to announce what we're doing next time, or at least give an idea of next time?
Oh, yeah. So ideally, it looks like 2 weeks from now, we'll be putting out... 2 weeks from now, right? Yeah, 2 weeks from now, we'll be putting out the next special episode. It'll be a focus episode with a special guest. So hope you guys look forward to it. It'll be sort of a focused discussion on something we've been thinking about for a little while.
Mm.
And check out the Patreon. It's cool. We haven't mentioned it on here yet, so I just
we haven't. We are doing Patreon. You know, please support us if you can. If not, we understand, but it would be really great if you could. So we definitely would appreciate that. Yeah,
if people throw in we have like the audio track from this episode is available. Our sort of commentary track is available to our patrons, and blooper clips that may have happened already. And we've just sort of been collecting and not sure what to do with. So if you want that stuff, it's there. It's $1. Not bad.
Yeah. So, but we're excited about that. We'd appreciate it if you support us. If not, we understand. But if you could, that'd be great. We're trying to work on, we're giving out the shirts and things like that. We're trying to work on getting more things out to the fans for supporting us, because we do have for as young of a show as we are, we have a very wonderful following already, and that's great. So
yeah,
and we appreciate it. So yeah, that was all that I had. All right, so let's sign out.
Thanks for tuning in to the Super Senpai Podcast. We'll notice you again next time.
Super Senpai Podcast.